Hey guys, I hope all is well. Thank you for joining me for this Truth Talk episode. In today's episode, we're going to be talking about how the elite are planning on tricking the world. But before we begin, I just wanted to let my Patreons know that I'm going to be dropping a new Patreon exclusive on the shot that Jamie Foxx got and Ice Cube refused to get. I recently came across some interesting information regarding this, but to avoid having my channel taken down, I will not be talking about it on here. If you're one of my Patreon members, you guys can expect that video in the coming days. Thank you all. Now let's get right into it. If you turn on the news nowadays, you will see that talks of UFO sightings have been on the rise. The media, one day to the next, seems to be supporting the idea of aliens being among us. In 2021, the Pentagon even promised to release classified documents that were supposed to inform the world of UFOs the military had encountered. So many people waited for this reveal, but when the documents were finally released, people were still left with the same questions. In 2022, the Pentagon had received over 150 reports of UFO sightings, as people were now starting to spot UFOs everywhere. This obsession with aliens spilled over into 2023, as just last month, another alien sighting had taken the world by storm. We all remember that Las Vegas UFO sighting where a teenage kid claimed to have spotted two 8-foot-tall green-skinned aliens in his backyard after their UFO crash landed.
It is the police call everybody will be talking about. Joining us here at 6 o'clock, I'm Denise Valdez.
I'm Brian Loftus. A family says something crashed into their backyard, prompting them to call 911, saying they saw creatures walking around.
Our 8 News Now investigators digging into this for weeks now, and tonight, our David Sharns with the video you will only see. David?
Right, Denise, sources telling the 8 News Now investigate that several agencies believe something landed or crashed. Whether it was non-humans or not, it certainly scared the people living on this property. Now, before we show you that video, listen to their call for help.
There's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot. 9 feet, 10 foot, I don't know, they look like aliens to us. Big eyes, they have big eyes, like I can't even, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human, they're 100% they're not human.
Okay.
The whole world was invested in this story that in many ways lacked credibility. I made a whole video breaking this entire situation down, and you guys can check it out after this video. Most recently, a former Air Force intelligence officer, David Grush, testified under oath in a Congress hearing on UFOs, claiming to have recovered, and I quote, non-human biologics, or in other words, aliens from crash sites. He also claimed that the US government was in possession of alien technology.
Do you believe we have crashed craft, stated earlier? Do we have the bodies of the pilots who piloted this craft?
As I've stated publicly already in my News Nation interview, biologics came with some of these recoveries, yeah.
Were they, I guess, human or non-human biologics?
Non-human, and that was the assessment of people with direct knowledge on the program I talked to that are currently still on the program.
And was this documentary evidence, this video, photos, eyewitness? Like, how would that be determined?
The specific documentation I would have to talk to you in a skiff about.
Many are looking at what David is reporting as definitive proof of alien existence. With all these sightings and information being released about UFOs and aliens, the masses are now waiting for aliens to come down from the sky and reveal themselves. Just 20 years ago, if you believed in aliens, you were looked at like a crazy person. But now, just about everybody believes aliens are real. What the masses sadly don't know is that all of this is a part of the elite's plan to trick the world. Notice that all of this UFO alien talk saw a massive uprise after 2020. The media has never been positive towards aliens or UFOs. Now it's strange to see them all of a sudden be the ones declaring their existence. I find this highly suspicious. We must remember that the media is a tool used by the elite to manipulate the narrative and to push their agenda. These UFO sightings are a part of the agenda and are going to serve a dark purpose. It's not by accident that the media were once not very supportive of UFO sightings and now all of a sudden are pushing this UFO propaganda. They want the world to now believe in aliens, and you need to ask yourself why. If you don't know why, I'm going to tell you exactly why. It's because this is all a part of the plans of the elite to trick the world. I believe all of this is connected to what is known online as Project Bluebeam. Project Bluebeam, for those who don't know, is a term created by Sergei Monast, who was a Canadian investigative journalist. Sergei was known to investigate conspiracies in the 90s, and at a certain point came across a conspiracy that he named Project Bluebeam. In 1994, Sergei released a book detailing what Project Bluebeam was and how it was going to be used against the world. According to Sergei's book, Project Bluebeam was a secret operation being led by NASA and the United Nations. This secret operation was tasked with creating advanced hologram technology that was going to be used to make everyone in the world see something descending from the sky. According to Sergei, Project Bluebeam was created to stage the second coming of Christ, or an alien invasion. He explained that NASA and the United Nations were going to project an image of Christ in the sky that some people would believe was an alien invasion, while other religious people would think it was the return of Christ. According to Sergei, the world will then unify under a new age religion and will then submit to a one world order. Sergei goes on to state that who was really behind Project Bluebeam were the Freemasons, specifically the Masonic group that called themselves 666. This organization was working towards the Masonic New World Order. Sergei claimed that for years they were working on achieving their task and were getting closer and closer. What's interesting about all of this is that Sergei released his book back in 1994, and by 1996, he had passed away of a mysterious heart attack. This was all while he was being hunted by authorities for what he was claiming. It's obvious that Sergei didn't go out because of no heart attack. He was taken out for exposing Project Bluebeam. Back in 1994, what Sergei was exposing seemed like something that would be impossible. People couldn't even imagine technology that would be able to do such a thing. But fast forward almost 30 years from 1994, and we have seen the advancement of hologram technology. And now, what Sergei was exposing doesn't seem so far-fetched. They have advanced hologram technology to new levels. I know we all remember that Tupac hologram performance, and that was years ago. Now just imagine what they can do now with that kind of technology. I believe the elite are 100% capable of pulling this off, and I believe they are preparing for it. This is when the media kicks in. The elite are using the media to prepare the masses for this alien sighting or return of Christ. They're creating the backstory for their staged event to give it more credibility. If the media starts reporting that aliens are real and that there has been sightings all around the world, it would make people more easy to accept it. If the world has been told over and over again that there's aliens by the media that the masses trust, they're not going to second guess what they're seeing in the sky when they're using Project Bluebeam. At that point, they had been conditioned to accept it. I believe it's possible that some of these sightings that people are seeing could possibly be Project Bluebeam technology, just a hologram. They could be testing the technology and preparing the masses for the big day. I believe these recent alien stories were all planned out for the purpose of Project Bluebeam. The fact that they had a former military intelligence agent reveal that aliens are real further proves that they're preparing the world for this very day. They want people to believe in aliens. That's why they had this person come out and say this. Most people think the government has been hiding the existence of aliens, when in reality, they have been fueling the idea. They want the world to believe in aliens, as it has always been a part of their plans. The elite are the ones that revealed aliens are real because it's all a manipulation. To me, it's no coincidence that Hollywood depicts aliens as the very same creature that the occultist Aleister Crowley claimed was a fallen god. Crowley drew this as a demon and not an alien, and the media wants the world to believe this is what an alien looks like. This is not done by coincidence. The elite are shaping the minds of the world, preparing them for the New World Order. It's obvious what's happening now. We're seeing this agenda play out. All of these people that are claiming to spot these UFO sightings are doing exactly what the elite expected. The elite want people to believe that aliens are going to come down because it goes with their agenda. This is exactly what they have planned. Now, when I saw this former government agent come out and say that he himself recovered alien bodies, I knew exactly what this was. Not only was it a distraction, but it was also another piece to their plan, another way to convince the world that aliens are real. We can see since 2020 how hard they've been going to push this narrative. You really think that this is a coincidence? You really think that this is the government telling the truth for the first time ever? It's not. They're preparing the masses for their big day. And this way, the masses won't question what's really going on. They want us to blindly listen to the media. They want us to trust the media. That's why they made them trustworthy, and it's the reason so many people fall for it. But you honestly can't trust the media to tell you the truth. The media is only going to push the narrative they want, and it's exactly for this purpose. What Sergei was talking about was obviously true. If it wasn't, they wouldn't have taken him out. they wouldn't have hunted him down for 2 years just to get rid of him. What he said struck a nerve, and they wanted to make sure he didn't continue his investigation or continue to reveal the truth. But the elite did a good job at erasing Sergey, and that's why most people don't even know who he is. We must remember we cannot trust the media. The media is owned by the Masonic Order. They only spill propaganda to manipulate the minds of the masses. When we see the media pushing a narrative, always make sure to question it. It's what separates you from the sheep that are manipulated. Always ask yourself, why do they want us to believe this? And never forget who's running our world and what their goal truly is. They're trying to bring in the New World Order, and they're expecting us just to go along with it. The thing is, we are not. And every day we're waking up more and more people. We are helping those who can't see the truth find the truth. Well, that's it for this video. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.